Hello everyone, this is Mr. Informal giving you the latest and greatest Mr. Informal podcast. Again, I go by the name of Mr. Informal. This is podcast 152, 152. Wow, felt like it was yesterday. Reach podcast 150, but we are now on podcast 152. As usual, from me to you, I hope you are being safe. I hope you are healthy. I hope everything is good with you spiritually, physically, mentally, and certainly I hope you are doing well overall. And I'm doing well. And just so I forget, please do not forget to add me on Instagram, MisterInformal. And then check out my website. Got some good stuff there. Got some good articles. MrInformal.com. MrInformal.com. So this is podcast 152. And these are the 4 topics. Well, as usual, Facebook is on the news. Facebook leaks user data. They got hacked. And then number 2, LG is discontinuing their mobile department. They're not going to sell smartphones anymore. Number 3, Twitch ban. Apparently, Twitch wants to ban you for doing something bad outside of Twitch. Okay. Number 4, Skims. Skims reach a new value high. They are now valued at unbelievable amount. And so those are the 4 topics for this podcast 152. And so let's go ahead and start the podcast. So topic number 1 from Hypebeast, hackers leak personal details of 533 million Facebook users in circulation since January, right? So Facebook was leaked by hackers and they got a hold of 533 million users with their personal information, most likely their user and password, and also could be phone numbers, could be birthdays, friends list, whatever. So the data had been circulating private since January, according to sources. The hack was discovered when security researcher Alan Gall saw a user on a hacking forum posted entire data set public. Roughly 32 million of the exposed users are from the US. Wow. 11 million from the UK, 6 million from India. Some of the most essential information like locations, phone numbers, email addresses, birthdates, and other personal information were shared. Furthermore, those who wanted access to the information could search the database for a small price. Wow. Well, Facebook was hacked before and they are hacking even now. So, and this has been going on since January. So, I mean, what can I say? This is why I don't use Facebook that much. That's why I don't have Facebook app on my phone. I only have Facebook via desktop because you you gotta connect with people, especially family members, and so why does this not surprise me? Why? Facebook always talk about data and privacy. No, there's no such thing as data and privacy with Facebook. They get your data and they sell you data. That's it. And the so-called hacking, let's be honest, has Facebook even upgraded their infrastructure in terms of security? I don't think so. 533 million users worldwide. And for some reason they can't even get things right. They're more focused on trying to ban users. They're not even banned or not even technically banned. Heck, they're more focused on trying to get Facebook video. But they don't really care about security. They don't care about privacy. They really don't. And do I wish that there was another Facebook competition? I do. Look, maybe someday I'll quit Facebook. And I don't even have a lot of pictures there too. But certainly, I'm not going to give Facebook an excuse here. I'm not going to give them a pass because this has been going on for them for a long time. Facebook can say they're the biggest social media in terms of users. I don't really care. And they can say they're an easy target. So, Twitter is an easy target. Google is an easy target. I mean, there's a lot of easy target. It's not an excuse. Not only that, your Facebook is $1 billion company. You're telling me they don't even have the money to increase their security? They don't really care. I mean, I'm not a fan of the Facebook CEO. He who must not be named. So, in this case, I'm not surprised. Should you be surprised? No. If you have the chance to delete Facebook from your life, just delete it. There's no point of it. If you want to keep in touch with everybody and you have a lot of family members using Facebook, yeah, keep it just for the sake of keeping it. But if you don't have to, then don't do it. Just delete Facebook. So, second topic from hypebeast.com, LG officially called it quits for its smartphone business. So, no more smartphone after losing $4.5 billion over the past 5 years. Gee, I wonder why. So, LG is throwing in the towel for its smartphone business. The South Korean tech giant suggested back in January that it was considering leaving smartphone world after a $4.5 billion loss in the last 5 years. The company has been struggling to carve out its own space in the market. High-end smartphones seem to have been by competitors like Samsung and Apple, while its affordable offerings were faced against Chinese rivals. According to the company, the decision to leave smartphones will allow LG to focus on resources in growth areas such as electronic vehicle components, connected devices, smart homes, yada yada yada. Look, I had the LG G5, LG G5, one of the best smartphones I've ever used. Actually, no, I may take that back. That could be the best smartphone I've ever used. And the G5, the G20, great smartphones. They even had the LG Curve, I think, whatever. And LG was making a name for themselves. But, they fucked up by following the smartphone trend. Not only that, they were raising up prices. And their software updates was taking too long. So, I wonder whose fault that is. It's LG. Look, Samsung, there was a time when Samsung phones were late to update, too much software, yada yada yada, but they just started improving, and suddenly their marketing was pretty good too. But look, LG, speaking to you LG, you could have done better. I mean, I don't know what it is about South Koreans, but maybe it's just a South Korean thing or mindset. But why is it's always about money first, or there's trend, let's follow the trend, and then money, and then hey, let's figure out why, what's wrong with the company. Well, why is it like that? It's the same thing that's happening with Samsung. Always gotta follow Apple, and then hey, let's check out the money, and then hey, what's wrong with the company? Same thing was happening with their cars. And so, to me, the LG G5 and the G20 were the best LG smartphones. Maybe the Google phones too. But at the same time, I've said it before, when the V series came out, the V20 was pretty good too. But when those came out, I mean, they weren't different enough. Not only that, I hate the fact that they did not compete at the proper level. Whenever they competed with Samsung, there was always something wrong with LG. I actually think the LG G5 was probably the best if you had to compare it with the Samsung Galaxy S series at that point, at that generation. But nonetheless, LG just couldn't figure out what's wrong with its smartphone, and for some reason they can't figure out why we losing business. Gee, How about be different? Did you ever think of that? How about just be better overall and then lower the price? Heck, why not just take the loss on your smartphones? Put it, price it cheap. And then overall, the more people buy it, the more market share you gain. Do what Sony does with their PlayStation. I mean, why didn't you do that? Not only that, why the hell were you always late to your software updates? So, I mean, I don't really feel sorry for LG. Do you feel sorry for LG? I don't know. Me? I don't. On to topic number 3. It seems like every one of these topics are Hypebeast articles. So same thing with this topic, Hypebeast. Twitch says it will ban users for harassment that occurs off-site. Okay. Twitch has updated its misconduct policy to include harassment that occurs off-site. So if you do something that is not in Twitch and Twitch found out, you get banned. That's what it is. So our current guidelines that state that in some serious cases where there is available verifiable evidence, we may take actions against users for hateful conduct or harassment that occurs off Twitch services, meaning on social media, other online services, or even offline when directed at members of the Twitch community. The enforcement of these new rules fall into 2 categories: dealing with harassment occurs on the Twitch services and taking actions against serious offenses that pose safety risk to the Twitch community even if they occur entirely offline. Individuals who have engaged in these severe forms of abuse listed above, we believe, are more likely to engage in behaviors in Twitch violence of our community guidelines or would create overtly safety risks for our communities. The companies explained in its updated off-service conduct policy. As a consequence, we will apply these standards even if the target of these behaviors is not a Twitch users. What? Okay? Or the person engaging in abuse was not a Twitch user at the time that they committed a severe offense. There's a double standards for Twitch. I get it. Okay, I get it. Fine. If you have a verifiable evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, fine, ban this person. But here's the other side of things. There are so-called Twitch users showing their body parts, and yet they don't get banned. So I need to know what Twitch is standards here. And see, my problem with Twitch is consistency. I've only watched Twitch users a couple times. I don't really like watching them because I found a lot of them being too sensitive, acting all girlish, having, too much emotional distress from these so-called Twitch users. They have thin skin, too sensitive. So, fine, if you want to ban somebody with evidence that occurred off-site and he happened to be a Twitch user, fine, ban him. I'm okay with that. But I'm not okay with certain Twitch users showing off body parts. I mean, there are kids who are under 18, who are minors, or even under 15 who watch Twitch and they follow their favorite Twitch users. And yet, these so-called Twitch streamers don't even get banned. So where's the consistency here? What's the standard? Like, they talk about misconduct, that also, not only that, a certain harassment that could lead to certain type of violence that could harm the Twitch community, which I don't even know what that means. And yet, harming Twitch community, which Twitch community have minors. I really don't understand the consistency of standards with Twitch. It's alright. I'm not a Twitch fan. I don't really watch much Twitch. It's not for me because I find a lot of these private websites called Twitch happen to be too sensitive. They can't even make consistent and standards, and all I hear from them is about misconducts, these types of news. I mean, these are the only two things I heard from Twitch. Their value at could be I think $1 billion. Very popular because of the popular gaming streaming. And then number two is these type of things. Is that it could be misconduct, the inconsistency in the standards, the policy changes. I mean, that's the only two things I've heard from Twitch. But I don't really hear great news about Twitch about, oh, this streamer was great. This streamer, Twitch, was great at presenting these type of platforms so we can go live or people can watch it. I mean, that's why there's YouTube is there. That's why YouTube is there. That's why other video platforms there. I mean, seriously. And people are also mad that there's all, and also the music part. Like when you play 5 seconds of certain music, oh, you get banned. Oh, you get some type of hit or some type of offense. But look, I'm okay with this ban, but I'm not okay with the inconsistency in the standards of Twitch. So last topic, 4 is Skims, a apparel brand from the Kardashians. So it's from business of fashion. Kim Kardashian Skims, valued at $1.6 billion. Skims is basically tight-fitting clothes full of spandex that hugs your curves. I mean, there's times when I like it, there's times when I don't. The Series A round of $150 million was led by Joshua Kushner, venture capital firm Tribe Capital, with additional investment from Imaginary Ventures and Alliance Consumer Growth. Founded in 2018, the inclusive shapewear brand has sold over 4 million units as the multi-billion-dollar shapewear market heats up. Kardashian-owned retail, which added loungewear to its mix in the midst of the pandemic, will use a new injection of funds, product innovation, expansion into new categories, global growth, and exploration of brick and mortar. This news comes after a busy week for Kim Kardashian West, in which she appeared on Forbes billionaire list for the first time and began a bid for the skincare market. Look, I'm not mad that the company is valued at $1.6 billion. Not only that, I cannot be mad at Kim for, being worth $1 billion. I mean, capitalistic society. Not only that, if you're a hustler, you gotta get it, no matter how you get there. Certainly, she didn't kill anybody. That's, we know for sure. But going back to the company, $1.6 billion. I mean, this is a pretty young company for a brand that just came out 2018. Not only that, I know much about this brand, the kind of product that they produce, the kind of fabric that they use. Not only that, the kind of fitting that they use, the kind of models certainly that they use. I mean, they certainly have a star power in terms of marketing due to Kim's popularity and celebrity status. So, I mean, I would just think it would sustain itself at $1 million, but at $1.6 billion, that lets you know something. That's a lot. 4 million units sold, and that's pretty good. And this not gonna stop. It's still growing. No matter what you say, Kim's popularity is gaining. And whenever she wears something, suddenly that particular apparel goes up. My only concern is that the durability and the quality of the product. Now, I cannot say for sure how it is. I only know of the fabric. Certainly, depending on who wears it and what the person does when it comes to taking care of it. Certainly, my recommendation is when you going to put it on the dryer, do not put it on medium heat. Do not put it on high heat. Just put it on low heat. Heck, if you can air dry it, just air dry it. Just hang it to air dry. That would be my recommendation due to the fabric. And I know the kind of fabric that they use, because the fabric that they use is a lot of spandex. And when you put spandex in a high heat, it will shrink. So Skims is starting. Most likely, I predict Skims will start to have brick and mortar store, or it could be sold at Nordstrom or some other department stores out there. They will get there. One thing they'll do is they'll have a wholesale department, and they'll also have a brick and mortar or retail department at the headquarters. That's how it's usually done. And certainly the profit margins of Skims is definitely quite high. I may be looking at 50%, could be 60%. That's really high for a product that could be made for, let's say, $15 max. $15 max. It could be below because of the fabric. And certainly there's a lot of research in fabric and also research in fit. But I could see the max wholesale or factory price around $15 or below, and then they could price up $100, which is a lot because of the celebrity status. And so that basically concludes this podcast 152, Mr. Informal Podcast 152. I hope you enjoyed listening to me from beginning to end. Hopefully I gave you some insights, gave you something to think about, just gave you something just to, listen, I guess, in the background. And please do not forget to add me on Instagram, MISTERINFORMAL. And then check out my website, mrinformal.com, MRINFORMAL.com. And so again, please be safe, please be healthy, and always stay cautious. We're getting there. We're starting to open up. Hopefully, the reduce in cases are going down. And again, I cannot wait till everything open up. Summer's coming, so let's do this. And so I will see you in next podcast. Bye-bye.